All right, everybody. So in today's little daily video that we're doing, it was kind of a weird day. So last night when we looked at um, our Dow futures, it was up like 230 or whatever. So that's, I mean, generally doesn't get a whole lot higher than that overnight. So I'm thinking, okay, well, this is going to be a pretty big day today. We're probably going to have some gains. We had some limit orders that we put in just in case it went down. Overall, the market today and the Dow went up 0.56%. And if we look at our portfolio, it went up 0.83. So it wasn't a big jump. And it seems like everything's flat, but it really wasn't. So again, we do beat the Dow. We beat the Dow every single time. I can't think of one day where we did not beat the Dow. So if you had all your money in a Dow index and you had the same, and you're started with the same amount of money, you'd be trailing pretty bad. You'd want to dump that index and start looking to do some of the things that we're doing here. So the goal in this is not about my portfolio. The goal in this is to show you how you can use a pandemic and a crisis like this to forever change your finances. So if you don't have a house and you want to buy a house, this is the way you get your down payment. If you want to get a car, you can do that. If you want to save for anything, you can do that. This is going to be a down payment for the beach house that I've been itching to get back to. I used to have a beach house before I got married, and my wife had one more bedroom than I did, so rock, paper, scissors, she won. But this is the beach house fund that we're doing. So anyway, let's look at today. We had a couple things happen. So we had some limit orders in, and we had a limit order for which is Two Harbors investments, and I went ahead and stopped that one because we want to free up some money for some other things we want to do. But remember how we talked about how the Dow futures were up? Well, for some stocks they went up and some stocks they went down, so it was a pretty mixed bag today. 4 of them went down, and we were able to get the limit orders that we placed. So United Airlines went down to 25, and I think yesterday it was like 26 or 27. So we were able to lower our cost basis down to 29. So we're pretty close to breaking even right now. We had Play, which is Dave & Buster's, and I didn't think that was going to come in because I priced it so low. I think it was the price yesterday was like at 14 or 13.80 or something. So I thought there's no way that's going to come in, but that dropped down, which is nice because we were able to get back in the game for that. And it basically is a point where all the loss that went down, we didn't absorb it. We bought it pretty much low, and it's pretty much at the break-even point right now, which is awesome. That's what we're looking to do. Every, which is the casino ATM finance company, this is going to be the big stock that's going to boom when the casinos open. So I'm not looking for a big gain right now, but this one's going to explode when the casinos open. So we're able to buy into that at 450. We had 465 as our cost basis before. Now it's 462. So we're basically at a point. And the reason we bought it was because the price of the stock was approaching where our cost basis was. So we just basically added more to the cost basis. So we bought it at 460. We bought it to bring it down to 462. We bought it at 450, and it's sitting at 462, which is perfect. It went down, we got it, and it bumped back up. So, and then the other one was Norwegian Cruise Lines. This one, it was kind of a weird one today. So they announced that they had a going concern warning, which means it was basically them begging for money, saying, we don't know how long we're going to be able to stay in business, but it's a big company, and they are a publicly traded company. They could always offer more stock or get a bond from their government. It could be any number of things. But that stock went down 20%. So you're thinking, well, that's bad, right? Well, no, it's not bad. We didn't own it before. So it dropped down from like 14.50, maybe even near 15. And we got it at 12.45, and now it's at 11.20. So we didn't really absorb much of that loss, only 9% down. So we got this at a great, great cost basis. Now, from there, we had 3 of them that didn't fill. ERI, which is Eldorado Resorts. They're buying Caesar's Palace. It's currently at 18.36. We have a price buy a little bit below 18, so that might happen tomorrow. Maybe. We'll see. MFA, we originally had it at 2,867 shares. I cut it in half to 1,450, and then I realized, well, it's, you know, I still want to own at least 1,000 of it. So we cut it down to 725, and then I want to use the money for some other things. And then Menlo Therapeutics, again, a biotech company. It's down at 182. We have a buy price, a limit buy at 170. So that would be great if we can get those to come in. So with that being said, we looked at the ones we have here. And one of the things that we first found was that Yuko is continuing to go up. So if we look at Yuko, and I always just call it Yuko because the long name, it's like Bloomberg prorated. It's like the ingredient box on a paint on a can of paint. Yeah, ProShares Ultra Bloomberg Crude F ETF. And if we look at 3 months, this is when it had its reverse split. So you don't really want to look at that necessarily. So let's go to a week. We'll go here. It went up, down, up, down. It hit its low at about 12.22. When you look at the week, it's on an upward trajectory, and it's starting to scale upward. So it went up and then up a lot, and then leveled up a little bit and up a lot. And I'm thinking, okay, well, my goal was to get it at 20 to 25 and to take away some of the falling knife. So I thought, okay, well, if that's the case, it's moving up. I want to at least lower my cost basis a little bit. So we decided if it drops down even just a little, because I always want to buy these things on my term. We'll get it at 18, and we'll add another $1,000 in here to lower the cost basis. And I might even throw in some outside money so we can do that. But right now, we're just throwing a little bit in there just because we can see it correcting, because the oil, it flopped all the way one side where it went negative. And if you study anything about economics, anytime you see something go that far one way, it's going to snap back and recoil that much the other way, faster than it normally would. So we want to get in on it while it's a little bit lower. So I might actually increase this between tonight and tomorrow morning. So we put that one in, and then VEL, which is, this is one I was actually in last night. I was looking at bar chart? Yeah, I think it was bar chart was with the site, and basically it allows you to go and look through. You can go over the last 3 months and see who had the biggest change overall in valuation and stock price. And so I went through all the ones that were relative to our upside. So all the ones that would be in a range of an upside that we would consider. And one of the ones that I added 2 of them, Helix right here and VEL. And VEL is Velocity Financial. So we look at 3 months ago, they were sitting on death day. I got to come up with a better name than that. 1463, and they're now sitting at 323. And the description for them, what do? They're a REIT. They do investor loans, residential, small commercial properties, which is perfect. It's kind of what I do for my real estate. But they're not anything like, retail or restaurants or malls or anything like that. So with that being said, I thought that one's kind of cool to take a look at, and I looked at them when it came to, so we'll go to Yahoo Finance, and we'll go to Market Watch. And I'm just changing in that. All right, so we looked at the analysis for, all right, here we go. So we look at Yahoo Finance, and they don't have any ratings in for May, but it was all buys in for the other 2 months. It's not great. I mean, it's limited information. And then we looked at this one, and this one has 3 buys, 1 overweight, and nothing else. So I thought, at least it's worth looking at. So I thought, okay, I'll throw a little bit of money in, not a whole lot. We'll throw 900 in, 300 shares at $3 a share, and it's at 323 right now, so that might fill tomorrow. We'll see. And this one only needs 13. This needs 37 cents. This needs, what is that, 23 cents? No, 13 cents. And this needs 12 cents. So these all might fill, which is really good. So it leaves us in there. Also, I did a sell limit order. I figured, I might as well follow Warren Buffett a little bit. Of all the airlines that I own, American is probably the one that's weakest. So I currently bought it at $15.36. I will not take a loss. So I set a price limit order at $15.50. It's currently at $9.52. So this one's probably not going to fill for a long time. So we'll leave it up there for now. That's just in there. We'll see if and when that, well, not if it fills, but when it fills, whether it's in a short time or not. So with that being said, I think we're pretty well set up with 3 of the top upsides. We have one at 80%, and yeah, I think we're doing well overall. So projections, we're sitting here with the currently held stocks aiming for about 130,000. That's what we're looking at. And then with the limit orders, we are looking to add another 50, which puts us at about 177 for about a 463% return. So we'll see what goes on. As far as what the market looks like tomorrow, it's down $87, so that's fine. If it goes down, it's not a big deal. Oh, one thing I did want to look at, I think we talked about yesterday, we are on the U-shaped curve. So again, we had a mixed bag today, a little bit up, a little bit down, but overall we saw the big drop when it went into this area, but we've been flat, relatively flat for like 2 weeks. So this is the point in time where we want to be very picky about where we put our money, and we're going to take these low cost bases while we have them. Because I guarantee you in 6 months, if you look at this one is going to be in, you're going to be wishing that you bought some of these stocks. And this is where you make money. Rich people don't make money on a good market. They make money when the market sucks. And so if you're going to make money, this is the time to figure out what you want to put your money in, what you feel comfortable with, and commit to some low-cost spaces right now. As far as this, go ahead. Again, there's a link inside the video description if you want to take a look at that. And yeah, use it yourself if you want. But the market tomorrow is going to be a mixed bag. Let's take a look and see what they put in here. So Virgin Galactic, it's kind of funny. Richard Branson basically offered his island in the Caribbean as collateral for a rescue loan, and yet he's going to space. So it's kind of interesting. I'm not really sure what they're doing with that. And then the other thing is they have this every day. The stocks COVID-19 is impacting the most and the least, and this is just on a daily basis. And we don't have anything on here. We never have anything on here. But this is pre-market overnight. So there's nothing really moving for us. There's no really great or bad news coming. But anyway, we'll see what tomorrow holds. Again, Fridays, and I think this is going to be the case this week. Fridays, you want to stay away from Fridays. It's only a Tuesday right now. But, you know, unless there's some really good sentiment going on, people don't like carrying Fridays over a weekend. So we'll see what tomorrow has. Right now, again, for those who are relatively new, and this might be your first video watching, we're not looking at this value right now or this value as much. These ones are our earliest ones we bought. We want to limit these numbers down, which we've made increasing investments in and lowered our cost basis to get these down. These ones are pretty much at zero, so they're fine. They're new investments that we have. But then we look at our winners. Crestwood Equity is just pumping, man, 140% at the bottom of the market. I mean, I can't even imagine what that's going to look like when everything starts to get where it used to be. And then Braemar Resorts, I'm telling you, as states open up, they're going to be one of the first people to open up, and this place you're going to see boom as well. So, and then Yuko, this used to be 70. This used to be negative 70, and it's moving up. So this is going in the right direction, and when this gets settled, let's say this comes back and settles at 42, which would be kind of break even where we bought it. I mean, it goes up to 15%. And right now we are sitting here as an overall gain in at the bottom of the market, we have a gain of 23% off of the money we invested. So it's the total amount divided by our deposits. It's a gain loss of $5,000 for 23%. If Yuko goes up This bumps up to 37%. So we have a lot of good news. We're literally at the bottom of the market. This is the buy time. So with that being said, I'll see you tomorrow.